I mean, every excuse in the book is to why I couldn't do it or why I shouldn't do it. Nobody cares. Oh, everybody got a podcast. Right. Everybody's doing something. Nobody wants to hear my opinion. I was told later, yes, there are people who want to hear your opinion. There's always a market for everything. But I listened to everything that I told myself. The podcast would have never happened.
Yeah, right. Unfortunately, we don't get told up front, you got to post 36 blogs before the 37th one is the one that takes off. You don't know that, because if you knew that, you'd post those 36. You wouldn't care about what happened. You're trying to get to that 37. That's not how life works, right? We got to just go through it and figure it out along the way and go through the ups and downs emotionally.
This is my first ever red carpet ever, my first interview ever. Right. And I'm like talking to John Singleton and someone who would now become Damson Idris and all these people. I'm just like, oh my God. One, I can't believe I'm doing this. Now I got to think of questions. What do I say? What do I ask them? I just off the top of my head I just jumped in. I was like, okay. And I did it. That red carpet changed everything for me. What's up, y'all? It's your boy JoJo Crews, the Prince of Pop Culture, and I am born to be dope.
Come on. This is the illest rhyme I ever wrote. Said I was born to be dope.
All right, welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Ryan C. Greene, here on the Born to be Dope show, where we help you master, magnify, and monetize your unique dopeness so that you can 10x your impact, influence, and income in life. I'm so excited about our guest today. We're going to jump right in it. But before we do, make sure y'all know the routine. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the page, do all that good stuff. Help us grow the channel. All right, so let's jump into it. JoJo Crews is in the seat.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Thank you for having me.
Hey, absolutely. For those who don't know, JoJo hosts the show, the Prince of Pop Culture podcast. I will flip around and show you the back. I should make the end. This jacket he gave me, this dope jacket, one of my podcast clients. Yes. I've been working for about 7 months now on your show. And I was like, I'm back in the host seat myself.
Right. It feels a little weird being here.
Like,
I'm in my normal seat, but it feels weird not being
right. Well, that's how, now how I felt when y'all interviewed me. I'm like, what are you doing sitting here in the third seat?
Right.
But yeah, man, we are, every now and then I want to do special shows. We focus a lot on entrepreneurship, business, marketing, but I like to spotlight people as well, dope folks. So I want to spotlight you on this show. Talk about your journey, share with people who, may be inspired by something that you've done. They're out there trying to do something themselves, and maybe don't feel like they're ready or they're ready to quit or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. Sir. All right, then we're going to have some fun at the end. Okay. I'm going to debut a new segment with you first.
Okay.
So if it goes well, we'll keep it. If it doesn't, I'm going to blame it on you.
All right, so we're going to make sure it works.
Right. So let's start with JoJo Crews.
Yes, sir.
The birth of JoJo Crews. I thought this was going to be good here, but I'm going to go ahead and put it over here. Okay. Get it out the way. There we go. I'm just turning on silent. So y'all know I'm taping. Why you calling me I'm taping? No. So let's talk about JoJo Crews. Okay. All right. So the Prince of Pop Culture, and that's the name of the podcast. If y'all didn't pick it up, the Prince of Pop Culture podcast.
Yes.
How do we get to JoJo Crews? Take us back to it. Let's start with 8-year-old JoJo.
Okay.
Let's start with 8-year-old JoJo. What was your life like then?
Okay. Born and raised D.C.
Okay.
I'm a Northeast boy, Saratoga Avenue. I grew up listening to music. Like, the first thing I remember was like 5 years old, seeing like the Salt-N-Pepa album cover with the black and white and Whitney Houston's vinyl. Like, we used to have like the Zenith TV. They had like the TV and the record player. Yep. So like we had the record cassette player also. I remember the cassettes around the house. Like, listening to Whitney, listening to like all good music. Yeah. I would run to the radio and hit my record on my cassettes. Yeah. That's how I got my music. And coincidentally, we lived on Saratoga Avenue. Our street faced the BET Studios, the original BET Studios in DC when they first opened. So every night I could see the BET Studios and the logo sign. So like from 5 until I lived there from 84 when I was born until about 91 is when we moved out. So from like 1 to 10, like I literally was like listening to this music in the house with my grandmother, my aunt, my mom, looking at BET Studios across the street while watching them on TV. And I was like, I just want to be something in entertainment. Like music was what I really wanted to do. That was like my passion, my goal. Moved from DC to PG County. Around 91, my mom and my stepdad got together. We moved out of DC to PG, to Mount Rainier, which is the borderline. We lived there for about a year and then moved to PG County, where I spent the rest of my middle to elementary and high school years. Went to PG County, schools, and then was raised PG boy. So I call myself a hybrid because I'm the best of both.
Got you. Yeah. So coming out of high school, I always talk about this when I do my talks about memory books, right? Memory book asks you a question: What do you want to be when you grow up? What was your answer? Like coming out of high school, what do you want to be?
It was the same thing. I literally I wanted to be an artist. I talked about this on my podcast. So like for the longest time, I just knew I was going to be an artist. Like my goal was to be a artist.
Like a singer.
I was an R&B singer.
Okay.
I was either going to be in somebody's group or I was going to be a solo artist. And so I went through so many like different name changes. At one point I was, I forget my first name, but the one that stuck the longest was Unique. I was UNIQUE.
Okay.
So that was like my name. I used to like draw my CD covers, like my track list. I used to write my songs. So by the time I got to high school, I already knew that's what I was going to do. It was just a matter of who's going to find me and when is it going to happen.
Right.
So like in my yearbook, I literally have photos where people were like superstar in the making or, whatever. So that was the goal. As we know, life has different plans for you. But in my mind, I was like, that's what's going to happen. That's what I'm going to be.
Well, let's talk about that journey because that's what we do on our show is we help people see the journey, learn the journey, understand that, what people have gone through. Because I think a lot of times people just feel like it's just you. Like, it's just me. I'm the only one going through this. Or, everybody else is having such success, except me. So you try to, you want to get into the music. How long did you pursue that before you realized this is just not my calling right now?
I wanted to be an actor and singer. Okay. So when I was in high school and middle school, elementary school, I was doing like plays. So I was always in these plays. Okay. I remember like one of my first plays was I played Muhammad Ali. I did Muhammad Ali. I did Thurgood Marshall. I had a few like really big plays in middle and elementary school, and focused more later on the music thing. I did that honestly from middle, elementary, high school until I would say about after I graduated, and I realized like, okay, I got to go to work. This is a dream that I have, and I'm gonna keep trying to pursue this dream, but I got to get a job. I got to work, right? So I would go to. I remember there was like multiple auditions that came to the D.C. area. Diddy for one. He came for Making the Band. I wanted to go do that. There was an audition that Rich Harrison, who was a famed producer from D.C., he found A-Marie. He's done songs for everybody. I will never forget he did an audition here. And I went to the audition. Me and Tony, my partner, went to the audition. And I will never forget, I was sitting there and they didn't give you a cue to start. They were just like, it's three guys at the stage and they're looking down. And I was like, when do I start? And they're like, acting like they don't see me. And I'm like, this is the most nerve-wracking thing in my life. So that was a nerve-wracking experience. We also did American Idol auditions. I did the whole camping out overnight when they came to DC. I mean, I was actively like pursuing this dream. Like I wanted to do it, but again, I still had to work. So I had to go to my 9 to 5 to pay the bills, but still wanted to pursue my dream. And I think just at some point it was like, okay, it's not really going to happen that way. So maybe let's think of another avenue. So at some point I decided, let me just go to school and try to do media. Okay.
Where'd you go to school?
So I went to University of Maryland.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, for a little bit. That was about a year after I graduated from Crossland High School. I went to University of Maryland for a year. Hence the shirt. I'm at a college to drop out. However, it was a rough time because like I had moved directly from my mom's house. We were having some issues just, at that time coming into manhood and a lot of other things. And so I was like, I got to go. I got to get out of here. I got to find my own way. I got to, make my own life. And so doing that and trying to like pay the bills and maintain a job, it was a lot of work. I did that. And then I realized, okay, I got to keep, working. So the dream kind of got pushed on the back burner. College, I did that for about a year. And I'm gonna be quite honest, I was turning up. I was having a good time. I'm 19, 20 years old. I'm having a good time. I wasn't mentally ready. I wanted to be ready for college, but mentally it was just a lot going on. It was a good time to be out in the streets. One of my biggest regrets that I did not finish. I later would go back, which I'm sure we'll get to, but I was just like, no, it's just not gonna work out. So a year in, I couldn't do it. I dropped out of college and then I just continued working. And at that point I realized like, this may be something that I do later in life, and the dream just kind of went away.
So let's talk about, because there's a lot of people who find themselves in that situation. They're like, look, I'm pursuing, but dreams don't pay the bills, right? So you got to work a 9 to 5. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it. I mean, and I've been there, I'm still there, working jobs that you don't like to do. But what was your mindset when you were in that moment? Like, I'm working this job. I don't want to be here. I've got a bigger dream. Dream's not coming true the way you want it to come true, but the talent and the passion is still there.
Right.
How'd you navigate that and then start to define your way into what you do now?
It took a while. And there was a lot going on around the same time. So I moved out, got my own place, moved in, with my partner, we were together. And then I want to say shortly thereafter, my brother has a child, and he has his first child. That's my niece, and then I become an uncle dad, and then within a few years later, he has a second child. That child will later become my child, who ended up moving in with me and my partner. We took on full-time parenting, so that shook up everything.
Grew you up right away.
Like, right away.
Okay.
Like I went from being like partying my job was my job, right? But it was like partying and working the streets, like kind of playboy lifestyle. But parenting really changed us overnight. Yeah. It was like, okay, we got to really like settle down and buckle down. So my mindset was like, at some point, maybe I'll go back to school. Maybe I'll try to figure out a way to make the media thing work. But again, bills don't care about none of that. So I'm now a parent. So like our bills that we had before, now on top of that, I got a kid to feed. So my focus was always just like, at that point, it became, okay, I got to find better jobs. So not thinking about my career and the things that I want to do, better jobs to make more money, right? So I took, I started in call center jobs, and then I moved on to doing admin work. By the time my son came along, I had been at a place. It was a nonprofit in Arlington. I was there for almost 14 years. Oh, wow. Because, it was a steady job. It paid well. It had benefits. It was everything that I needed to keep the roof, over our head and the lights on. But at some point within that 14 years, I remember like who I was and what I wanted to do when I got back there.
Yeah. I remember when I went through my divorce and I quit for like 4 years and I moved back to Hampton University. I was working there, just trying to figure out life. And I had given up on, at that time I'd written 2 books. Mm-hmm. I was speaking, it was like right there at the time where things just about to take off. And divorce hit, you lose everything. So I remember, like I said, quitting for those 4 years and then finally waking up like, okay, wait a minute. I was built for more than this. Right? So I understand that feeling of, there's more in you, but you still got responsibilities, you still got things you got to do. So let's fast forward then to how did it start? Was it red carpet how you got started, or how did you actually get started back into the entertainment field?
So crazy thing is that I feel like a lot of the things in my life that have like made me go to the next step or do something has been lost. So like for me, the moment that made me get into media was the loss of my mom. So in 2013, so we had Christmas 2012. My mom was at our house. Me and my family had a great time. And then I want to say she went home that week. We had planned to have a big party for my son. January 5th was supposed to be the party. So he's a New Year's baby. So he's born January 1st. So we were going to have a party on the 5th. And I'm doing all this planning, running around, excited about his big 5th birthday party, which is on January 5th. It was 5/5. It was a whole thing. And then the night before, January the 4th, my mom went to the hospital, and I had to take her. She called me early that morning and said she wasn't feeling well. It was a whole thing that, and I hadn't heard from her days prior, so I knew something was wrong. She and I normally would talk like every day. But that day, I hadn't heard from her in a couple of days, so I reached out and I was like, is everything okay? And, come to find out, she's laying in the house dealing with whatever she was dealing with. I go to pick her up and take her to the hospital. Long story short, I ended up losing my mom the very next day, January 5th, which is the day we were supposed to have my son's party. So my life instantly changed, in a span of a couple hours. It went from planning the birthday party for my son that she was going to be at to now I'm planning the funeral. Wow. Hopefully I don't get emotional. But that to me was the major, major loss in my life. So at that point, which is now 2013, for me, I needed a coping mechanism because it was a lot. Yeah. I was the oldest of my 3 siblings, and it was just a lot going on. So now I had to, in addition to raising my son, I had to take on raising my younger sister, who was at that time 13, 14. So now I'm like a parent of 2. It was a lot. I'm now a parent of 2. I'm an orphan, I feel like.
Right.
Because my mom is gone. And also we're in the midst of a lawsuit because it was a malpractice issue at the hospital. So when I tell you it was like a whirlwind of things going on, it was a lot. And I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, me, Tony, and our son. And now I have a daughter that I have to take on, and her dog now, so we got to find another place to live. So I'm like, all of these things are going on, and it was just within the span of months, my life just changed overnight. And so for me, that year was one of the roughest years, but I was like, I got to find an outlet. Mm-hmm. I found outlets that were not good, and I was doing things that, were destructive to me and my body, but I was like, I got to find something to do. So I started my blog, which is JoJoCrews.com, as an outlet, honestly. It was just a way to do things to get my mind off of what I was going through at that time. And that blog led to me getting, connections with other people in the industry and getting to do red carpet. So that's how I started with the blog.
Okay.
And then, I got invited to do a couple of red carpets through, people that I knew. And, that's what started it.
We ain't. This not Oprah, so we're not gonna be up in here crying. But I went through the same thing. My mom suddenly passed away. It was 2000, so this was 25 years now. I was 25 when it happened. So this 2025 was like, that birthday was like, man, I've been living longer now without her than for her. So
That's crazy.
So I totally understand that feeling of not having a guide. It's like, who am I living for anymore, right? Like, who do I go to? And she kind of, that loss as well, kind of opened up the door for me in business. So.
Did not know that. 25. I was 27.
Yep. So, wait, you was 27 and
when she passed, yeah.
Oh, when your mom passed.
Yep.
Okay, I'm like, okay, I got you now.
Yeah.
But I got
Which is a really young age to lose your mom. I mean, any age to lose your mom is like hard, but that was like a very young age.
Yeah, because you just trying to figure out adulthood yourself.
Yeah,
you know, just things now I still want to call my mom about.
Absolutely, yeah.
But so yeah, definitely. But I appreciate you sharing that because there's a lot of people who deal with loss.
Yeah.
And how you deal with that loss after it happens really determines, the rest of your life.
Yeah, it can consume you. It really can.
Yeah,
like I said, I was doing a lot of destructive things, and then, and on top of that, we ended up winning our malpractice suit, and so this was years later. It was about 4 years of the process. I came into a nice settlement of money, so now I'm like dealing with grief and loss, and I just got a lot of money.
Yeah,
so it's like, okay,
I'm
feeding this loss with things that I shouldn't be doing. So, but I realized that like that loss, it really like changed my life and the trajectory of everything that I wanted to do. That website, like my blog, literally became the saving grace for me. It saved my life, honestly.
You remember your first story you posted on the blog?
Yeah. I remember the first one was about Chris Brown. It was a new video that he did. And I posted it. I remember I knew exactly what I wanted my website to look like. I had sketched it out just like when I was a kid. I would sketch out my album covers and my songs and all that. I sketched out what I wanted the website to look like. I went online. I forget what site it was at that time, probably Craigslist or something, and found a person to build the site. I knew a little coding, but I was like, I need somebody to make it look good.
Yeah. And
the first story was Chris Brown. And I remember we went live. It was like August 28th or something, 2016.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like 2013. Sorry. That's when we went live. And that post didn't go viral, but, it was a slow start.
That's about to ask you. So that's why I asked about the first one.
Yeah.
So compare your expectations to what actually happened on that first post.
The first post, honestly, for me, it was just an outlet, right? Okay. I had no expectation or like my goal was not to be this blogger or to be this, that, or that. Okay. The way I got there, there was a colleague of mine who I'm the biggest Brandy fan. And so
biggest what fan?
Brandy fan.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a big Brandy fan. Yeah. And so there was a guy who was doing some background photography and videography for Brandy.
Okay.
He had a website and he was looking for people to help him, blog on his website because he was busy with his content and stuff that he was doing. And I was like, well, this may be a good opportunity for me to like figure out how to start blogging. So I went and became one of his interns, I guess.
Okay.
Did that for maybe about a little under a year. And I'll never forget. I did it for a year and I enjoyed it, right? It was good. I didn't get paid for it. It was basically an internship. You're just doing whatever. But I didn't get really any credit for it. But I remember the turning point for me was like when I went to an event. He did an event for Brandy in New York City and he invited me. And I believe there were 2 other people at the time that were working for his site. He invited me to the event. I'm not going to say his name. But he was a little bit of a jerk. And I don't know if he was just like, he's socially awkward. Okay. But in that moment, I felt like, because I had been like working my ass off to make his site popping. Like his site was kind of like slow. He wasn't really consistent with his content. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to make your site pop. So I was posting like 3-4 times a day. And it got to the point where I was so consistent that he kind of like expected me to post. And I feel like there was one day he texted me and he said, it was the tone. It was like, I need you to post this by this time. And I'm like, you do realize I'm doing this as a like.
Oh wow, yeah.
So that incident, and then going to the Brandy event, and he kind of like shunned me and didn't really, it wasn't what I expected. It made me feel kind of like, well, damn, like why am I doing this for you and support you in your dream, and you can't even like give me any kind of kudos or anything. Right. So after that, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm sorry if I cuss on you.
It's okay. Okay, we got one.
Leave me out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just start my own site. Now I've learned how to use the platform, which is WordPress. Yeah. I've learned how to use it. I know how to code in the back end. I know how to do things. I would just do my own site.
Right.
So my goal was not to become anything other than just like make my own site and see what happens.
And show him up.
And not show him up, but
I got you. So, and I asked that because I think that, again, tying it back to business and entrepreneur, especially now, you said it was 2016 when you launched?
2013.
13, okay. Yeah. 2013 when you launched. So things were even, social media was around, internet was, blogs were huge back then, but it's still different than now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I think now we see people who come out of nowhere, then they want to post one thing, and all of a sudden they think they're going to go viral.
Yeah.
And I always talk about, you don't know, when you launch something, but if you're deliberately launching something for business reasons, right? Like yours was different, but you're launching something for your purpose is business and to build something. You go into these, go in it with this idea, everybody's going to like this. It's going to take off. The very first thing is going to launch. It's going to go viral, and then it doesn't.
Nope.
And then you're like, okay, well, the third one doesn't go viral. 10th one doesn't go viral. But it's like, or not even viral, but just doesn't do numbers. You don't see what you want to see from it. Yeah. And then people start quitting. Yeah. So I always tell people, like, unfortunately, we don't get told up front, you got to post 36 blogs before the 37th one is the one that takes off. You don't know that. Because if you knew that, you'd post those 36. You wouldn't care about what happened. You're just trying to get to that 37th. Yeah. That's not how life works, right? We got to just go through it and figure it out along the way and go through the ups and downs emotionally.
And if somebody told you that, you probably wouldn't be consistent. You wouldn't do it at all. You'd be like, how many?
Right.
I'll do something else.
It ain't worth it. Right. It ain't worth it. Or you're going to be like, it's either or, right? You can say, I ain't doing it because it ain't worth it. Or some people, I'm going to just go through it as quick as possible and get there. So it depends on that mindset. So that's cool. So I want to get to how'd you get the first record? Talk about the blog, because that opened up the door. So the reason I'm asking about that, because people have something, and I show you, like even with my podcast now, like the podcast, I do the podcast because I enjoy talking to dope people. But this is not like, I don't plan on being the plan is not, I'm going to be a professional podcaster forever, right? The podcast is the tool, introduction to the audience to what else I do, to how else I can help and transform people's lives. So for your blog, like you're sharing information, but then it started to open up doors for you, right? So when you get that first call about doing a red carpet, like who called you?
I remember,
and how did that go? Like after you was like, oh my God, they want me on the red carpet. Like how'd that go?
So the blog was up and running for maybe about a year or so. Okay. Getting traction, not like massive traction, but it was getting traction. Brandy again. There was another Brandy connection. There was a gentleman, I'll say his name, Vaughn Alvarez. He's a publicist. He's one of Brandy's fans. He ended up becoming her publicist. We had the Brandy connection. Back in the day, there was like, different websites and chat groups, and that's how I met these people. Like we were on a Brandy fan site back in the day. So he, like the other person, was, part of Brandy's team. He, I guess, saw the work that I was doing on my site. He saw what I did on the other side, saw what I was doing on my site, and he reached out to me and was like, hey, I would like to put you on my mailing list and invite you out to some things. And I was like, okay, cool. Not thinking anything of it. Right. The very first event that I got invited to was a red carpet that he invited me to in D.C. I'll never forget. It was the E Landmark Theater on E Street that just recently closed. And he sent me an email and said, hey, there's this show that's on FX, and they're looking to get, more promotion. It's been going for a while, but they're not really getting the ratings they want. So we want people to come out and cover it and talk about, see this show. And I was like, okay, what show is it? And they were like, Snowfall. And I was like, I love Snowfall. I'm already into Snowfall at this point, right? It's already like through almost all of season 1. I'm already a fan of the show. Right. So I was like, what? FX? I'm there, right? So I'm going just thinking, they told me it was a screening of the show. And I'm like, I've already seen the show, but I'll go and cover the, and see. So I didn't know what to expect. I'm thinking I'm going to go watch the show. And they said, the cast is going to be there and they're going to do a Q&A and all this cool stuff. And I was like, hey, I get to see the cast? Dope. Right. So I go there, right? And I'll never forget, I get there and I literally was told, like, this is just a Q&A that somebody's going to moderate. You're just going to be there to, like, watch the show. Maybe take some pictures on your phone if you want, blah, blah, blah. So I don't come with anything professional, no kind of setup. Right. As soon as I get there, they're like, we don't have the media that we thought was going to come. Can you get on the red carpet and cover the red carpet? And I was like, what red carpet? Wow. I wasn't told there was a red carpet. This was supposed to be a screening. They're like, we need 2 people at least. We don't have anybody. So I'm literally on the red carpet. They had some other news outlets that were there. But I'm literally on the red carpet, and I have the pictures on my phone and on my Instagram on the red carpet with my old little cell phone. I feel like it was a BlackBerry or something at that point. On the red carpet, recording people and talking to people, all of these stars, including John F. Singleton, the legendary John F. Singleton. Wow. This is my first ever red carpet ever, my first interview ever. Right. And I'm like talking to John Singleton and someone who would now become Damson Idris and all these people. And I'm just like, oh my God. One, I can't believe I'm doing this. Now I got to think of questions. I wasn't prepared with questions. So now I'm like,
prepared.
what do I say? What do I ask them? I just off the top of my head I just jumped in. I was like, okay. And I did it. That red carpet changed everything for me. It literally, he began to invite me out to more things.
Wow.
And I became like, the go-to that he would send me like, hey, I'm doing this Zoom conference or this event here. He was mostly based in Atlanta, still is. So I couldn't go to everything, but the DC stuff I would do or the Zoom. So that one event like changed everything for me.
That's why I tell people all the time is that you've got to be in your space. You have to actively be working in what it is you do for doors to open.
Yep.
Too often people think that they're just going to put up a website or IG and be like, hey, call me for this. But if you're not doing it, they don't know to call you. And even with that, where you weren't specifically doing red carpet, you were in the space doing blogs. And so you showed an understanding of at least the space that you're supposed to be in. And the culture, Right, and the culture. So when the door opens, because I think, I've been guilty in the past of thinking you got to have everything, all your ducks in a row. You got to know everything first. It's got to be perfect before you go out there and launch something. You didn't have a chance to launch, even think about really the fact that I'm not really prepared for this. Like you were there, and he was like, go. Yeah. So talk to the audience about being in that space where it's just like, look, you get thrown in the deep end. You got to learn how to swim.
The biggest lesson that I learned from that night, I will never forget. And I'll post the picture online maybe, and I'll send it to you. When you look at this picture where I'm interviewing John Singleton, the look on his face is like when he sees me and my partner, because we went together. I have my phone, and I feel like I had a camera, but it wasn't a professional camera. The look that he gave was like, where's your stuff?
Wow.
Like, it wasn't a disrespectful thing. It was like he talked to me and engaged. We had a full conversation. It was an amazing conversation. Rest his soul, John Singleton. But that moment made me feel like, okay, I'm not prepared. I wasn't told to be prepared. But I should have been prepared just in case, Yeah. So that moment for me was like, I'm not going to let this happen again. So the next time I get called to one of these things, I'm going to bring my camera. Even if I don't need it, I'm going to bring a camera. I'm going to bring something. I'm going to have all the things that I might need. So that moment and seeing his face, the way that he looked, this is an icon and a legend in the game. And he's looking at me like, you want me to talk into your phone? All right. He was cool with it. But it made me feel like, okay, I got to set my game up. So after that, I was like, next time I'm going to be well ahead prepared.
You said something there that resonated with me where it's like you weren't told to be prepared. And people may be in that situation where it's like you're not told to be prepared, but you didn't go and get mad at the person who gave you the opportunity.
No,
you took responsibility on that and said, look, I know it's not my fault that I wasn't prepared, but I learned from that just like that. And I know next time never to let this happen again and how to make sure it never happens again.
Absolutely.
So that was a great learning lesson there.
Yeah.
Who's been your favorite person that you've interviewed?
Ooh, favorite person that I've interviewed.
Not just red carpet, because I know you had some big interviews too recently.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of something outside of the obvious. We've recently done CeCe Peniston. That was a big deal. I'm trying to think someone who would be surprising now. I would say CeCe because she's so real and down to earth. And because we actually formed a friendship. Yeah. And she's exactly who you might think she is. She's not pretentious. She's not a diva. She's not, although she has every right to be. Yeah. She could be. She's one of the realest people that you'll ever meet, and just like so humble and just down to earth. She did my event. That's how we became cool. I had booked her for an event, my birthday party a couple years ago. She came to that and was so gracious and so kind. Yeah. And we communicated through social media before and after. After the event, she's like, y'all some cool people. I would like to hang with y'all. Wow. And she was like, take this off Instagram. Give me your number. And I was like, you want my number? So like to be able to like text her and be like, when she's in town, she's like, hey, let's go get drinks or let's hang out. Or hey, I'm doing a podcast now. Are you around? Yeah. Like that kind of relationship is like something you can't buy that, right? Yeah. So that's one of the ones that I would say is the most valuable one, I think, because it went from a booking to a friendship to like now we're developing something. So I would say CeCe Peniston. But I've had a few interviews that were like standouts.
I mean, you could tell in that interview that it wasn't just an interview. Like y'all were friends. You know, she respected you, and she felt comfortable. Yeah. You know, she did Marge Simpson, yo. Right. She did
I've never seen her do that anywhere.
Right. So that was funny. But that's cool. All right. So what do you want to do next? Where do you want to take this? What do you want?
Again, I never have a plan. I just like go where my mind is always racing, right? So my thing is always like, what's the next thing? And to go back to the story with my mom, so like all of my things that I do come from losses. So the website came from the loss of her. I lost my brother in 2021. My brother died of an overdose. I think he was dealing with the death of my mom and couldn't handle it. So that was the way that he dealt with it. I started the blog and did things. He handled it his way. Losing him was another life-changing moment. I got to do something to stay active and to keep going. Right. So every time I lose something or something traumatic happens in my life, it now motivates me to just what's next? Yeah. So when that happened with him, I was like, okay, I don't have time to waste. I want to go back to school. So I ended up going back to school for a year. I took some more classes trying to get my journalism degree. So I'm one of those people I hate when people be like, oh, they're just bloggers. No, I'm a blogger, but right. I'm going to get my degree at some point. So you can't use that against me. Yeah. So that's my goal, is ultimately to get my journalism degree, to finish that so I can have the paper and say what. Yeah. But I don't know. Other than that, I don't have a plan. I just want to keep doing the podcast. Is amazing. I didn't even have a plan with that. It was just, let's do a couple episodes, see how it goes. But now that I've seen the response to it and the traction that it's getting, I'm setting my eyes on some bigger things now.
All right, well, let me ask you this way then. What do you like most about where you are and what you do? What drives you most in doing it? Because I know why it started, but there's a reason why you keep going.
Right. My love of the media, my love of music. Also, what I've learned is that in this space that I'm able to create, I'm amplifying my voice, but I'm also amplifying the voice of the people around me. So my co-host, Nichelle, she's for years wanted to do, her and her female friends have talked about doing a podcast, never happened. She's wanted to do entertainment stuff, never happened. And so this opportunity was something where I was like, okay, well, we've been talking about this for years. We've been saying you were going to do one, I was going to do one. We talked about doing a friends one. And I was like, well, we can't do it with all the friends, but maybe you and I could just try it, right? So it seems to work well. And I know, as nervous as she is, if you guys watch the podcast, she's nervous about being on camera. But I've seen her open up over the past couple months that we've been doing this show. We just recently did Fox 5. I wanted to take her on there. And I'm like, listen, this is our podcast. This is not just my podcast. I want you to have a voice too and a face. So her going on Fox 5, she was so nervous. But seeing her come alive when the cameras came on and on set, she's like, okay, I can do this. Yeah. So I'm learning that this is bigger than me. And I'm also able to take my partner on Fox 5 and help him, promote the things that he's doing. He's a caterer. And my other friends, my goal is to make things happen for everybody around me. I don't want it to be just about me. Yeah. So that's the motivation right now.
That's one of the things that I won't say immediately, but I learned over time about you that resonated, and why I think we also become more than just client, client service provider relationship, right? Because it's that part right there that we share, is that you just want to see everybody in your circle win too. Right. You want to provide those platforms, provide those opportunities, and that's what I try to get people to understand that. But I think that, we've been, as a people, we're just so rightfully cynical. Yeah. And don't trust folk that it's hard to believe sometimes that people really just want to see other people win with them, right? They really want to help you. Don't want nothing from it, Yeah. So,
and the other thing is people always want to equate success or things to a dollar value or a click so obviously my podcast, we're not getting paid yet, right? Right. It costs money to make the podcast. It's an investment that I'm putting into my dream. And my co-host could easily say, well, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not showing up for this. What's the benefit to me? But she sees the benefit because it's something that we're building together that eventually at some point we might, that would be great if we could at some point. But even if not, I'm happy just doing this every day with you. So, you have to have like-minded people around you who understand everything's not going to be, instant gratification or overnight success or a check associated with it. Yep. So
and even with the podcast, for anybody who's watching, you want to do something. Maybe it's not a podcast. Maybe it's just you want to do lives a week, whatever it is. You want to make shirts. You got to do the thing. I said it earlier, but you got to be in it. And so what you all have produced with your podcast is Social Proof. Shout out to David Shans. That's the name of his show. Social Proof, so that when people are looking for a team of hosts, people need someone for an event. You have a show, you can show them, hey, here we are, we ain't new to this. Yeah. We've been doing this thing for a minute. So that's why, I stress that you got to do it. You got to be actively pursuing it, actively in the thing that you're doing, because you don't know what doors are going to open from that. And in business, ain't nobody giving the handouts, right? So nobody cares about your dream. They care about your action and your work.
And the thing is, with this podcast, I sat around, this was a 10-year in the making thing that we talked about, wanted to do. For 10 years, I made every excuse in the book as to why I couldn't do it or why I shouldn't do it. Oh, nobody cares. Oh, everybody got a podcast. Right. Everybody's doing something. Nobody wants to hear my opinion. I was told later, yes, everybody. There are people who want to hear your opinion. There's always a market for everything. But I listened to everything that I told myself. The podcast would have never happened.
Yeah, right.
And I've seen within this year that we've done the podcast, the traction that it's getting. And even as recent as this week, I've been reaching out as we're prepping for our next season. I've been reaching out to people trying to negotiate some things for the next season, interviews that we're trying to do. And the crazy thing is, like, when I'm reaching out to people, they're like, oh, yes, we saw you, or we saw that. I literally reached out to a social media page. Here's another thing. So I don't have a massive Instagram following, right? I have a humble, nice number of people that follow me, right? I reached out to a page that has a lot of followers, and I said, hey, I would like to share some of my content with you guys if you're willing to post it or repost it or collaborate. And this page, who's massive, reached back out to me and said, I actually saw your interview, your CC Peniston interview, and I was gonna post it anyway. Oh, I would love to collaborate. So if I didn't do the interview and put the work out there, nobody would have seen it, right? So you gotta take that leap and that faith in yourself. Just do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
People will see the work when you do it.
That's dope, man. That's dope. All right, we're gonna take a break because we're gonna, and then we'll come back with some rapid. I need a name for the segment. I don't have it yet. But
Ryan's Rapid Fire.
Ryan's Rapid Fire. I like that. That's kind of catchy.
Okay.
All right. So we'll take a break. We'll come right back, finish up talking to JoJo Crews right after this. Listen, content creation is not your problem. Clarity is. You can create and post all the content in the world and still not see the results you want because of one main reason. Your content lacks one clear message for one clear audience. And if you've been posting, recording, guessing, overthinking, and still not converting how you know you should, it's not because you lack talent, it's because you haven't cracked the code yet. Believe me, I've been there. That's why I created the Cracking the Content Creation Code. It's a free guide I put together to assist authors, speakers, and experts to finally position yourselves as the go-to authority by producing compelling, high-impact, high-converting content in just 4 hours a month. In this free guide, I'm going to show you how to master your signature message, build a revenue-generating media platform, and maximize your content to multiply your efforts across platforms. If you've ever thought, I know what I want to say, I just don't know how to package it and consistently show up in a way that gets me booked and actually makes me money, this is for you. But I'm a trainer at heart, so I'm taking it a step further. I'm hosting a free live webinar, Cracking the Content Code, Mastering Your Message, where I'm exposing the one thing 80% of personal development content is missing that stops it from converting, and I'm breaking down the exact framework I use to amplify my client's voice, story, and authority before they ever hit record. You're going to leave this webinar knowing who your ideal customer avatar is and exactly how to market to them without being salesy. So download the free guide and save your seat for the next free webinar, and let's get you creating the content that actually speaks directly to your ideal prospect, magnifies your brand like an authority, and monetize your expertise. Head to mypodcastpartner.com/code and let's get it cracking. I'll see you on the other side of the webinar. Be dope. What's been your biggest challenge in building your career as a speaker? Has it been getting on more stages? Has it been getting paid higher fees? Or maybe you're trying to get more media coverage for your brand? If you answer yes to any of those, or maybe you say yes to all three, then I've got your answer. The answer to getting on bigger stages and getting media to spotlight you is to show up looking like someone who's already getting more speaking engagements, is already getting paid higher gigs, and who's already getting media coverage when they come looking. How do I do that, Ryan? I'm so glad you asked. You do that by positioning yourself and partnering with platforms that magnify you and your message and position you as an expert authority that shows prospective clients, hey, here's the expert you should book. Here's someone who's invested in their career. Here they are in action doing what they say they do. And that's what the 8-week Born to be Dope Media Builder Camp builds for you. Enrollment in the upcoming 15-member cohort is open now at borntobedope.com/camp. This is your opportunity to have a professional team build your entire visual brand and marketing ecosystem with you, plus produce your most critical video content. You need professional video footage and photography of you in action? Check. You need to magnify your celebrity authority status to increase your expertise and speaker fees? Check. You need your marketing system like a lead gen tool, signature talk, visual assets, sales funnel, and more designed and built out? Check. You need media training to master your message and make you a great guest on TV shows and podcasts? Check. And you need a proven media company with a track record of success to work with you? Check. This Media Builder Camp isn't a course full of self-paced videos. It's not a masterclass or a challenge. This is a live, weekly, done-with-you coaching and implementation. Building this thing with you. Plus, after the 8 weeks, you get a half day in our studio to film all of your visual assets. So if you're ready to maximize your impact, influence, and income, go ahead and visit borntobedope.com/camp to schedule your free discovery call for full details. I look forward to speaking with you and learning all about your platform. Can't wait to help you be dope. All right, y'all, welcome back. Welcome back again. First, I forgot we started the show and I didn't say, like, how y'all like the new set?
Yes.
Like the new set.
Loving it.
You know,
It's so bright.
You've been watching the show, Born to Be Dope. We've had, 1, 2, at least, this is at least our third iteration. Maybe we've had 4 in there, but I'm really liking this. So I'm loving this. Hopefully y'all liking it.
Yes.
Matter of fact, you like it. Leave it in the comments that you like it. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. Look, we trying to get to 1,000 followers, y'all.
Okay.
You know how YouTube is.
Absolutely right. They won't pay you until you get there.
Right. Can I get the 1,000 subs, please?
Let's get them up there.
All right. So let's ask these questions. Before we do that, because I don't want to forget. So let's, I'm going to ask you again, but I want to do it now so I don't forget.
Okay.
Tell people again the blog.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them where they can watch the show.
Yep.
And how they can follow you.
All the things. So the blog is jojocrews.com.
Spell it.
JoJoCrews.com. Same thing on Instagram, JoJo Crews. TikTok, JoJo Crews Official. You can watch the blog. I'm sorry, the podcast, the Prince of Pop Culture Podcast on YouTube, on Instagram, the Prince of Pop Culture Podcast. Go follow. We need our numbers to go up on there too, so go follow us. And then also, I'm a Fox 5 contributor, so you can see me on there doing Good Day, DC, Lion Lunch Hour here and there. So, you know, I'm a little all over the place.
That's it, man. I work from home, so I don't have the TV on during the day. So, but the last couple of times you've been on there, I was like, let me make sure I tune in and just see.
Appreciate
you. You kill it every time, man. So
Try
that's
my
great.
best.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into these questions.
All right, let's do it.
First one should be easy.
Should I take another sip of water?
Let's see. What was, when did you realize you were dope? Like, what was that moment of clarity for you that you was like, you know what? Who I am, how I am is good enough, and I love that.
I think I'm realizing that now. Like I just turned 41. I feel like I'm realizing that every day, like as the days go on. Because you always have that confidence about yourself, but there's always still that doubt.
Of course.
So all that doubt that I had all those years that stopped me from doing the podcast and that stopped me from going back to school and doing all these things, it's still there. Yeah. It's always going to be there. But I feel like when you do the work and you start to slowly build, and again, when you see the traction and you see people noticing the work and you see people acknowledging you and what you're doing, it's like, okay, I might be who I think I am. Like, let me just keep on going. So I'm constantly still learning that I'm dope.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. I might kind of know that. Other than singing, do you have a hidden talent that you wish you could make a career out of?
That I wish I could make a career out of?
And it doesn't have to be like something you can really make a career, but just something like, if I get paid on this.
When I was a kid, I wanted to do a lot of things. In addition to wanting to be a singer and actor and in media, I also at one point wanted to be a cartoonist. Okay. Like, which is weird. Well, not weird. I used to draw. I was an artist as a kid. So like, which tracks, because I used to write songs and write scripts. Right. Draw my album cover. So I was an artist. My dad was an artist. So I would draw. And at one point, I was really heavy into cartoons and Cartoon Network. Yeah. And I used to like research how to make cartoons. And so I would make like 100 pages of the same thing and flip the pages to make it move.
Like the flip books.
Yeah, the flip books. Yeah. So like literally I had like tons and tons of books doing that. So my goal was like, if I could make comics and be a cartoonist, that's what I would have wanted to do growing up. But I don't know.
Man, that's a good answer right there. That's good. I can't draw worth a darn. So
I've lost the skill. It's been a while. So
all right. So I know what skill you do have. What talent or skill do you wish you had?
That I wish I had. I wish I could. Ooh, it's a tough one. Oh man. I mean, it's a few things that I wish I could do. I wish I could really cook. Okay. I can cook, right? But I'm not the best cook. I wish I could I'm good with IT stuff and design. I wish I could do like kind of what you do. Like, I wish I was good with like editing. Like, that's the one thing that I was like, that's not my field. Like, I can do something here and there, but you're really good at what you do.
That's funny because I hate editing.
You hate editing?
Yeah, that's the worst part of what I do.
Oh, really? Okay.
I hate doing that part. Yeah. But yeah, that's cool though.
And graphic design. I really wish I could do graphic design. Like, thank God for ChatGPT these days. But like, that's one of the things I'm like, I wish I could like make my own flyers and make my own marketing and promotion stuff. So yeah.
All right. We get real personal on this show. Okay. So I said it like we've been doing this for this the first time. Starting now.
Right,
So,
okay. I was gonna get deeper now? Okay.
No, not deeper. But what's something, and quirky was the best word I could think of. What's something quirky about yourself that you used to hate or hide that now it's kind of like your superpower that you used to excel?
Quirky that I used to hate that I like now.
And it doesn't have to be quirky. Like I don't know why I can't look quirky. But just a personality trait, maybe something that you thought that people can't know I do this, or people
I don't know if this is quirky now. I'm a neat freak. Like I'm OCD about everything. My mom raised me, and my stepdad was Marine. So like my routine was get up, make up your bed, clean the house. Like the house had to be spotless. So like I'm very like things have to be in a certain order in a certain way. And the people that I live with, my son and my partner, are total opposite.
Now, I think there's a difference between being neat and being clean. Mm-hmm. You a neat freak or a clean freak? Because you said
I'm a clean freak.
Okay, because I'm a neat freak.
I'm a clean freak. I used to be a neat freak. As I'm getting older, I don't got time for all that. Yeah. As much as I'd like to, but I'm still a clean freak. I don't like stuff lying around all over the place. I don't like things to be dirty. So I'm still that.
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody's.
Yeah, I think everything got to have its place. Yeah. And like I get real like, why'd you move that? But I'm not sitting there dusting stuff off all the time. And
I'm the duster.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that.
I literally have dusters. When I tell you, I was so bad growing up. Like I had the dusters, and I would spend my allowance money on. I would go buy cleaning supplies and dusters. Like it was really weird. And like the carpet deodorizer, I used to love vacuuming and putting like the lines in the carpet. I don't have carpet in my house now, but I still like vacuum my floors. Like I'm obsessed.
I ain't going to judge you.
Yeah,
but that is quirky.
Yeah, I would spend my money on CDs as a kid and dusters.
I love the carpet stuff too.
Yeah. It's like zen. It makes me feel like
I used to love vacuuming. You know, you gotta get the lines. I'm most OCD with the vacuum.
But you know what's so crazy is I see a lot of people on Instagram. These pages that go viral from like cleaning people. Yeah. Like they're making money like cleaning and doing the same things that I was doing when I was a kid. So I'm not the only one. I feel vindicated these days.
You know, on TikTok they just show you stuff. It was this man. He was live. He set up all his pots and everything. All he was doing was throwing ping pong balls at this obstacle course he done made up. Okay. Trying to get it to go all the way to the end. And I'm looking like it's impossible that he could. I mean, there's hundreds of balls on the floor. People are giving hearts and money, whatever. He's just live sitting there throwing these balls. And I'm like, so we talking about TikTok and just what things people are doing.
Man.
It'll make you mad sometimes.
Right. It's like I'm doing all this work.
Right.
Like,
you getting paid off to do this?
All I got to do is act a fool.
Right.
Like, man,
so,
you making so much money doing nothing.
Yeah.
But can't not the hustle.
Yeah, I ain't. Yeah. So, all right. What has you saying that's dope right now?
That's dope right now. It's dope right now. Can it be about me?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think my drive. Like, I think I'm at a place now where I'm more confident than I've ever been. I'm not letting those doubts hold me back. Mm-hmm. Like, even right now, we're on a little hiatus from my show. It's not really a hiatus because I've been working my behind off. Like, I'm like thinking and strategizing of things that we're going to do next and people that I want to have on the podcast and, you know, ways that I want things to look. And outside of that, like networking that I want to do this is the crazy thing about me. People always think that I'm super social because I'm on TV and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm very like antisocial at times. I'm an extroverted introvert, right? But now I've like gotten so motivated behind the podcast and all that's going on. I'm like, I'm gonna start networking. I'm gonna start going and talking to people. I'm gonna start like reaching out to people and trying to like do different things. So it's kind of dope to me that I'm getting out of my shell.
Yeah. That people don't believe me too. I'm definitely an introvert. Okay, right? And people think introvert means you shy. That's not what an introvert is. Introvert means you get drained by people and social surroundings, right? I got a limited time only on how long I can be out in public. You know, you saw how quick I dipped out of that day 26 joint, right?
Like Cinderella.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, I understand that totally, but at the same time, you understand that you got to push yourself through that, right? You got to push and just. You want to be in front of people and people are your business, you got to be there. So definitely understand that. I'm going to ask you this question before I go to the question that might make people upset because it kind of follows up with that. Okay. How can viewers help you right now? What do you need right now? How can
viewers help me right now?
My viewers. Like how can anybody who's watching, what kind of support do you need?
I wouldn't say just me. I would say to your viewers, anybody. Well, this can go either way. So anybody that you see doing something, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a book that they're writing, whether it's a clothing brand that they're trying to start, whether it's a restaurant or food truck or whatever it is that your friends are doing, go support them. Yeah. Go like their stuff. Go comment on their stuff. it's crazy how much time that we spend on social media scrolling and liking and commenting everybody's stuff. People that we don't know, that we never gonna meet a day in our life, that don't care two things about us.
Right.
Never gonna know who you are, but we won't take that 30 seconds to like our friend's post or to share our friend's post or to go promote our friends. Yeah. So I would say to the people that follow you and me, go like his page, go support his page, go like my podcast. Like it's free. All you gotta do is click the button, hit subscribe. Like those things help, and it builds. The thing is, like, don't wait until somebody gets to where they're trying to get to be like, oh, I knew you was dope. Oh,
then try to tell you changed because you
you
ain't sharing my stuff. What I owe you?
Absolutely. So go support your friends.
So this was my next question. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to give a different answer, but this is I'm gonna call this to say it with your chest.
Okay.
What's bugging you right now?
What's bugging me?
It doesn't have to be about you personally, your personal life, but just what's bugging you out there?
It's a few things bugging me. This political climate's bugging me, and I can get into that. People who don't support their friends is bugging me because it's like I'm seeing how much work that it takes to get things off the ground and to make it. You know how much work it takes, and people who see it, because I see you looking, but you're not responding. So that bugs me, because it's like, especially me, I'm one of those friends and people, like I've said, like I bring my people around, be like, I want to help everybody. So I'm the friend that's liking all of your stuff. I'm liking, I'm commenting, I'm sharing. Like, so when I don't see it reciprocated, that bugs me. It's not like okay, but it's like sucks. Okay, what can you do?
Yeah. I feel like you're speaking my mind right now. But couple more. What song are you listening to right now that motivates you?
I listen to all 90s, all 80s. Like, I listen to new stuff, but I'm literally all...
Yeah, give me your JoJo you about to go on Fox 45. I mean, Fox 5. That's Baltimore's 45. Right. Fox 5.
You're speaking it into existence soon enough.
Yeah. Okay. I've been there. Y'all got to bring me back, Fox 45.
Okay.
That's what I was telling you earlier off camera.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm not going to say nothing bad about them.
Right.
I'm asking
because you might be back.
Right. So, you going into Fox 5.
Okay.
You got to get that song. You in the green room about to go on. You got your earbuds on. I got to get them. What song is that?
I listen to everything, but I really like to get me hyped up. It's got to be like some old school hip hop. Like, I'm an R&B junkie, is what I call myself, but I'm a hip hop. Like, I love some DMX. Like, What's My Name? Or like some Get At Me, like some old DMX. Yeah. Like, at his hypest where he's just like going, cussing the whole like 5 minutes of the song. Like, that gets me hyped.
Right.
Like some DMX. Also, I like some good old Nas. Like, that'll get me hyped. Even like old school 90s, like before them, like Luciano. Like, I like old school hip hop. Like, that kind of stuff gets me hyped.
Yeah. Dope. All right. I'm gonna do a top 5.
Okay.
So let's see. I want to ask you, who are your top 5 podcast guests you want to have?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You may not have reached out, but your top 5.
Top 5 podcast guests. Which is crazy. We have a top 5 episode that we get for our podcast, and we have one coming up for season 2. Top 5 wish list. We just shooting for the stars?
Yeah, whoever you want to have on.
Well, if you watch the podcast, you already know Ray J. Or Brandy, or both. It's probably never going to happen. Janet Jackson, one of my favorites. Let me think out of the box. The Obamas. I would love to, like, specifically Michelle. I would love to. I know she has her own podcast, but I would love to hear her take on a lot of things. Who else? Oh God. 5. Maybe New Edition. New Edition. Any one of the members.
I've been working on that one. I've been trying to get, that's my group right there.
Listen, one of them is a family member. I'm not gonna say who, but it's not as easy as you might think. But them, if possible.
One is a family member. Gotta be wrong.
Yeah, think DC. But
that was why didn't I even think about that?
So them, and then last one. It's actually one that I'm working on for season 2, and I actually have been talking to them since December. And it's a reality star, but they are a big reality star, and me and Nashelle are like in love with this person. There are people reached back out this week, so we're trying to make something happen. So this person, I'm not gonna say it because it may or may not happen, but yeah, it's a big deal for us.
All right, we'll give you 5 because you had some couples in there. So we'll say you get the 5.
I cheat a little bit. Yeah.
All right, last question. I'll put you on the spot. And this, depending on how this goes, this may be my first time and last time doing this. But it's my ask me anything. I've
Me.
been getting all your info. What's one question? I know you just interviewed me.
Right.
But
I got my questions from you.
Yeah, but and now you got to think of something else. What's one question you have for me?
Okay, and this is the deciding factor whether you keep this segment or this question or not. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so this is something I learned I learned a couple new things about you today. I didn't know about your mom's situation, so love to you for that. I didn't know that you were divorced. Yeah. So what was one thing that your divorce taught you? What was the hardest part about that lesson?
You went for the juggler first question. I'm like, just. Nah.
So what's out of here?
No, seriously. But that's a good question for real. Because I've been remarried for March will be, what is this year, 26? So that's 12 years. 12 years remarried. So
I love your wife, by the way. She's followed me on Instagram. We follow each other. She's an amazing woman.
Cool.
I love your Christmas pictures. Like y'all are such a cute couple.
Cool, yeah. What I learned about divorce, though, a couple things. Because I was 25, she was 21. We were deep into the church. Kind of felt we had to get married. You know, so I learned. One, we were definitely too young.
Okay.
But through my divorce, I focused it on me. I focused on taking accountability on because what happened when I got divorced and I started talking to different women, not just dating them, but like even friends who were married, who were complaining about their spouses. Okay. They all kept saying the same thing. And it was the same things that my exes said about me. And I'm like, well, shoot, maybe we as men just got some issues that we ain't, we need to take care of and listen to women more, deeper and really trying to do, understand how our actions impact them. So that was one of the biggest things I did. I was like, okay, I really started taking personal responsibility of the role I played, because as an entrepreneur or just someone with a big dream, we just think, okay, you got to just ride this wave with me, right? And just believe in me, and we gonna go,
right? Don't always work that way.
Don't always work that way. Okay. And so that's the biggest thing I learned was just personal responsibility. Okay. I don't. If I say that out loud, I try not to speak negatively of her. Okay. In our relationship,
because you were young.
Yeah, I was young.
You probably were learning together.
Yeah, we did, and she was, and I was young. But she was 21. She was still in college when we got married. Okay. She didn't know who she was. Right. So it was like,
those are your formative years.
And so I'm like, you 21, you go from being woman to Mrs. Greene now,
And you got the church element. That's a whole nother thing.
Right. So it was like we were just growing up together, and it just yeah. Okay. So that's what I learned. I learned more so about me, just how to be a better man.
That's the best thing.
Next time around,
right?
It ain't my fault if it screw up.
Exactly. Right.
That's the goal. Right. That's the goal.
Good. Okay, I got one more. Then I think about it.
All right.
Okay. You asked me what's next. What do you think is next? What's your goal? Like, what is the end goal? Like, what's your big thing that you want to do next?
Awesome. The Born to Be Dope brand, I just want to spread this message with people. I want people to understand they're dope just how they are. They're unapologetically dope at being them. So I want people to stop trying to fit in to whatever these preconceived notions of what success looks like in their field, and understand that whatever's in you. That's why I asked you the question about, I forgot now, I shouldn't have thrown the card, but about what part of you was kind of quirky that you feel like it was your magic sauce. And that's the biggest thing. I just want people to be happy with life.
Right.
It's not about money. It's not about, relationships all the time, but just be happy and fulfilled that you're doing what you want to do. Right. Not what you have to. We don't, like, I lost both my parents.
Right. Same. Yeah.
So, my dad was more recent, but it's like, I talk about my mom, she was 51. By the time y'all see this, I just turned 51. And her biggest goal, she worked for the government, was to retire from the government and go buy a Lexus. That's what she wanted to do, right? Worked for the government for 34 years, something like that. She died working at the government. Right. And she ran out of time. So my thing has always been about just understanding like the urgency. I know my friends will tell you, and I joked about this about you on your show. We talk about if you give you an idea, you running with it, right? Yeah. And that's my thing. My friends will tell you, I'm an urgent. Like if I got an idea and I see we're gonna do it now. Yeah. Like, what are we waiting on? Right. Because I've seen dreams die. Yep. So that's my thing. And also just providing platforms. That's why I do what I do with Greenhouse Media, my podcast partners, the podcast brand. I want to provide platforms. I want people to get their stories out and share their messages too.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
My mom's, her biggest thing that she wanted was her 50th birthday party. She's like, I have to have a big party. I've never had a big party. I want to have a big party. She died at 49. I was like, okay, well, we can get you that 50th. You never know when when it's going to happen. So you got to that's why I moved. Just like, any ideas, don't sit on it, just make it happen.
And it's different. Like, I was a mama's boy. So it's like, and I take you probably were too. It's like, when you building something or you want to do something, I want to do it for her.
Yep.
I didn't get to get her that house. I didn't get to get her Lexus.
Yeah.
Same thing with my dad. Like, I didn't get to get him, something. So it's like, when you're building something and they're gone, then it's like, well, you got to find a refocus on like, what do I do? You know, who do I push for? So,
but you use it as your motivation. So, and it's your testimony.
Absolutely. So, thank you for that. I think that was. I don't think the question can get much harder than that. So I might keep.
So you might keep
this segment in there. All right. But one more time, tell people how they can follow you and support you.
Yes, sir. JoJoCrews.com. JoJo Crews on Instagram and social media. JoJo Crews Official on TikTok. The Prince of Pop Culture Podcast on Instagram and YouTube. Go subscribe, like, share. Like I said, go support your friends and people you don't know. Yeah. You never know who's the next up-and-coming whatever. Go support.
Only reason people who are famous have followers is because you hit the like button and subscribe to them.
Exactly.
You do it to us too, right? Yeah. So, all right. So, and speaking of which, follow me. Raji is dope.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, if you on it, if I'm on it rather, is Raji is dope. And then you can follow on Born to Be Dope on Instagram and the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's it. I don't really got nothing else. Oh, I did forget. If you want to join our leadership community, it's free. Join the leadership cipher, borntobedope.com/cipher. You can join our free leadership community. We do weekly trainings, coaching calls. We're going to get back to that. I know I haven't done them in a while. We're going to get back to that. There's a whole bunch of stuff just helping you grow, getting in an environment of people who are just trying to grow and build something as well. So thank y'all for your time. Thank y'all for joining us. JoJo, thank you, man.
You're giving out resources and all these gems for free.
That's
free
right.
$99.
Yeah, that part.
I like that, man. All you gotta do is go like, subscribe. Go, come on.
That's it. That's it.
Free $99.
So, yeah.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Looking forward to 2026 and beyond.
Absolutely.
Big things, man. And we gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off, brother.
House Media got some good things coming, brother.
All right, man. So we'll talk to y'all soon. As always, be dope.